how are you feeling in the midst of this major general conference?
At this point, I'm feeling very good. I'm very happy to be here. I'm very proud to be AME, and it means an awful lot for me to be here and to make sure and to work with all of our leaders to make this a successful bicentennial, the 50th General Conference of the African Methodist Episcopal Church.
While the AME Church has been hosting a general conference every 4 years for 200 years, this certainly had another layer to it. Talk about some of the behind-the-scenes things that have been going on that folks have zero idea about what it has taken to make this conference be so successful so far.
To be truthful about it, there's only one thing bigger, and that's the Democratic National Convention. The same thing that goes on there goes on here, except it's church business. Electing bishops, passing legislation, electing general officers, of which I am one, and moving forward with the business of the church. Preparing all of that legislation for a new discipline. And then, of course, the assignment of the bishops to the 20 districts that we have in 39 countries in this world. So it's an awful lot. But of course, being here at this convention center, having more than 11,200 people in the opening worship service for yesterday, and a minimum of 30,000 people coming through this convention center over the 10 days that we are operating says an awful lot about what goes on in the African Methodist Episcopal Church, and more importantly, what goes in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Remember that in 1787, when Richard Allen and a few others were pulled up off of their knees and left St. George Methodist Church and went around the corner and started in a blacksmith shop. It was only a few blocks down the street from where the Declaration of Independence had been signed.
That's powerful. That's powerful to be back here in 2016, particularly with so much that's happening in our country just this week alone, and so much happening in the world. We are positioned here back in Philadelphia to celebrate our bicentennial. How do you place us in the context of the whole world, this particular celebration?
Remember, I think memory is important. And as you spoke a moment ago, I thought about, I wonder what they were doing in 1916. That was before my mother was born, almost before my dad was born, and definitely before I was born. But the context here is, it is 200 years. Very few denominations, very few people can talk about 200-year history unless you go back across the Atlantic Ocean.
You've been working quite a bit, working so hard behind the scenes and in front of the scenes. Have you had a chance to enjoy any of the celebrations so far?
Well, I was elected in 1996. I was the 6th treasurer. For the last 104 years, all of our treasurers have been lay people. I am not a minister, okay? My background is in finance. And as the treasurer and the CFO of the church, it means an awful lot for us to continue to move forward and to be ready for the next generation. If the Lord is willing, I will retire in 2020, and my successor, whether it be he or she, in my judgment, will have a job on their hands, and then they can prepare for the next 96 years after that. How about that? So in 2116, they can come back and talk about 300 years of service. But as this denomination continues to grow, it means an awful lot, especially to African American people, and even more importantly, to the other people that are now joining our denomination. It really means an awful lot, and I hope that we will continue to move forward. It is my understanding that we're going to bring in a couple of annual conferences in South America now. So therefore, where there are people of color, it does make a difference, and we're proud to talk about our heritage, and to move forward with the AME Church.
Since you handle our money as our treasurer, let's talk about the economic impact of the AME Church, and not only our economic impact here in Philadelphia these next several days, but just as a denomination, the kind of money that moves through, and just the economic layer to the AME Church in a way that maybe we as AMEs may not have recognized the impact that we have on the global economy.
That's an interesting observation you just made, and I'll sit here and talk to you all day. The president of the Convention Bureau, Miss Julie Coker, I think her name was, talked to us about an economic impact of over $21 million. And I thought to myself, yeah, that's for the delegates and alternates. They didn't have anything to do with the visitors that come and all of the people that are running for bishops bring. You know, the AME Church has an economic impact not only in Philadelphia or Pennsylvania, but all over the United States, and again in 39 countries. And quite frankly, me being number one, there's no way for us to really deal with the total economic impact because of the total number of parishioners that we have visiting our churches. For instance, we have over 6,000 churches in the United States of America, but in Africa, Southern Africa most especially, West Africa, it is very difficult to keep up with the total number of people that visit our churches on a Sunday basis. That being said, it goes back. There's no way to really determine the total economic dollar impact on this world that the AME Church has had and as we are having right now.
But we can use our imagination, though. We can use our imagination. Last question. I'm calling this the AME vaults. Going back into your AME vaults, your personal AME vaults. Think of a memory that makes you smile, makes your heart smile, either from your childhood, early days as being our treasurer, attending a general conference, just some memory that comes to mind that makes you smile when you think about the AME Church.
What I think about the most is 1972. I was walking down the street in New York City with Dr. McDonald and Dr. Jamie Williams, and I met the treasurer of the AME Church who had just been elected. I told him that day, that's what I want to do for my church. I was a banker in Nashville, Tennessee. I was a funeral director, which was my day job at that time. And I told them that I wanted to be the treasurer of my church. In 1996, my dream came true.
Thank you, Dr. Lewis. Thank you for speaking with us. Thank you for your service, and congratulations on a wonderful General Conference.
It's my privilege being here.
Yes, thank you kindly.
Thank you.
This is the AME exclusive, and you can only get it here. Dr. Lewis. Thank you, sir. Thank you.